Hi guys, I want us to look at how to use a dated if function in SQL. So what a dated if function does is that it helps you get an interval between two dates. So let's assume we have a start date, a column for start date of an event, and then the end date of an event. Let's assume that, right? And you want to get the interval between the start date and the end date, or you can say from the end, between the end date and the start date, how many days, how many weeks, how many months you want in between. You can always calculate that using the dated if function. And I'm just going to demonstrate that very shortly. So I have a table which I have called the sample dates table. So let me show you what the table looks like. So if I say select all columns from sample dates, and that's my table. And if I run that, this is what my table looks like. Okay, so I've got a date of birth, I've got a date of check, and I've got the sex of the babies, okay, male, female. And if you run there, and you can see I have lots of null values because I haven't yet gone back to double check to know whether these babies actually had their baby checks done or not. So I haven't put it as not done. I've just put it as null because I will still go back and double check those values. But these are the dates of birth of the babies. And this date of check means whether they had their 6 to 8 week baby check. And then this is the sex of the baby. Okay, they're assigned their birth sex. So what I just want to do now is I want to know how many days actually exist between the date they had their baby check and the day they were born. And I want to see that in days, and I'll also show you how you can, show that, demonstrate that in weeks. So let's proceed. So if I say select, let me say select all columns. Then let me also say dated if. And how you use the dated if is that you put the two dates, side by side, separated by a comma. And if you put date of birth, so they were born earlier than the day they were checked. So if you put date of birth first, your result will come out as minus, okay? Or if you put the later date first, which is the reasonable thing to do, so we'll say date check, okay? And then we'll put a comma, and we'll say date of birth. If we do that, and we call that, let's call that interval in days. And then we select the table. The table we want our results to come out from. We run that. We now have interval days, and this is the number of days. So 58 days is the duration from the 31st of August 2022 to the 4th of July 2022. So in between this period, you have 58 days, all right? And this is 20, isn't it? So from 25th of October, from 5th of October to 25th of October is 20 days, right? And that's exactly what this dated if does for us. Now, if we want to show these in weeks, for instance, the question you ask yourself is how many days exist in a week? And that's 7 days. So if you come here and if we close this, I think we need to close everything, isn't it? Here. Let's close everything and divide by 7. Let's call that interval weeks. We run that. Still gives us the interval, but this time in weeks. Okay, so 8.4 weeks, 2 points. We can always remove the decimal place by saying round. So we can round that. And if we come here and put maybe 0, say round to 0, we don't want to show the decimal. So 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, okay? And we can always do that. And if you want to make it months, I think you probably use 28 days. If we, okay, let's click interval. 28 days roughly And if you do that, so you can see 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months. So, but then you're going to your accuracy. If you make it months, your level of accuracy will be reduced. So I think weeks makes more sense. So 7. If you do that, okay, then this gives you this. And you can always say you want to see one decimal place, and you run this, and you say, okay, 8.3. Well, it doesn't really make sense, isn't it? So let's leave that as 0. Okay, so essentially what we've demonstrated is how to use this dated if function, okay? This dated if function or clause, it's actually a function to get you an interval between two dates. So you've got your interval, and here you can see it is, we've put it in weeks because we've divided by 7. If we hadn't divided by 7, it would have been in days, okay? And of course, we took out our decimal by using our round and making these 0. So we don't want to see any decimal place, just the number of weeks. We've called that interval weeks. If we don't put interval weeks, it's going to give you this in a funny way. It's going to give you your title as round. Everything you wrote there, rounded if, that's what's going to be there. But then if you put your interval weeks there, which is aliasing, or giving something an AKA, also known as, okay, also aliasing as interval weeks, that's what we've done. So if you think it's been helpful, smash the like button and share these with your friend. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.